Hey folks, today I'm diving into one of the most nail-biting moments in modern history, the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. This was a 13-day face-off that almost led to nuclear war between the United States and the Soviet Union. It all kicked off when American reconnaissance planes snapped photos of Soviet nuclear missiles in Cuba. These weren't just any missiles. They had the potential to strike deep into the US, sparking widespread panic. President Kennedy, after some serious advice from former President Eisenhower, decided to act. But instead of going straight to war, Kennedy announced a naval quarantine of Cuba. Now, why quarantine and not blockade? Simple. Blockade implies an act of war, and Kennedy wanted to avoid that at all costs. The world watched with bated breath as Soviet ships loaded with more missiles headed for Cuba. The US Navy was ready to intercept, and it seemed like a clash was inevitable. Behind the scenes, though, was a whirlwind of secret negotiations. Kennedy and Soviet Premier Khrushchev played a high-stakes game of chess. Finally, a deal was struck. The Soviets would dismantle their missiles in Cuba if the US promised not to invade the island and secretly agreed to remove American missiles from Turkey. This crisis left a huge mark on global politics. It showed just how close we could come to the edge of nuclear war and underscored the need for better communication. In fact, this led to the creation of the famous hotline between Washington and Moscow. So, the next time you hear about diplomatic tensions, remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's a stark reminder of the power of diplomacy and the thin line between peace and catastrophe. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video gripping, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into history. See you next time!